Hi, welcome to Sweet Bliss Yoga. My name is Claire. Today's class focuses on core strengthening poses. We'll begin in a cat-cow pose, tabletop. So onto your hands and knees, and we'll just take an inhale, dropping the belly towards the mat, lifting the gaze forward or up, and try and keep your hands underneath your shoulders, hips above the knees. Exhaling, pressing the spine up towards the ceiling, pulling the navel in. Try and exaggerate pulling that navel in here since we're working on the core. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting your tailbone up to the sky, gaze forward or up, dropping that belly down. And this is on an inhale. On your next inhale, pressing your hands into the mat, engaging your core, pulling that belly button in towards your spine, and pressing your spine up towards the ceiling, really exaggerating. Inhale, dropping the belly down, gazing forward or up, tailbone up to the sky. Exhale, pressing into the hands, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, engaging that core, pulling that belly in, and coming back to neutral. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips up into a downward facing dog. Pulling the navel towards the spine here, broadening those shoulders, pressing into your hands into the mat, pressing those heels towards the mat. Walking your feet up towards the front, towards your hands, rolling up. Inhale your arms up, palms together and down to your heart. Let's take a chair pose here. So sinking the hips back, keeping the weight mostly in your heels here. Engaging your core to keep your balance. Release, inhale your arms up. Let's sink back down, palms together, hands at your heart, sinking down into that chair pose again. Engaging that core. Inhale, bring your arms up, palms together. One more time, let's sink down into chair pose. Really focusing on the abs, abdominal muscles, pulling your belly in, drawing, zipping up that abdominal area. Of course, we're feeling this in our thighs too, but they're all connected, right? Let's straighten up. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, dive down. Palms on the mat. Step your feet back into a plank. And hold here. Once again, engaging your core. If this is too much, you can drop the knees, but bring the weight forward so that you can engage that core. Inhale, lift your hips up to downward facing dog. Drop your knees to the mat, drop your elbows to the mat. And bringing yourself forward into a modified tabletop with your elbows underneath your shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes and lift up into a dolphin pose. So engaging that core to help you balance. You'll definitely feel this in your shoulders as well. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can just lift up into a downward facing dog. Bringing the knees down, let's take a child's pose. Take the pressure off the arms and the shoulders for a moment. Coming back up to tabletop, tuck your toes, lifting hips up to downward facing dog. Really engage your core here. Let's walk the dog, pressing one heel and then the other, alternating heels right and left. Pulling your core in. Press both heels down towards the mat. Lift up on your toes and come forward into another plank. Let's rock forward and back slightly with our feet. Keep those abdominal muscles engaged. Dropping your knees down, dropping down onto your elbows. Tuck your toes, lift up into dolphin pose. And breathe. Really pressing into those forearms, broadening those shoulders. And release the knees down, sinking back into child's pose. And coming back up to hands and knees, we'll take a side plank pose or a modified side plank. So if you'd like to take the full expression, you can stack your feet on top of one another or one foot in front of the other, pressing the right hand into the mat and bringing the left arm up. If you want to take a modified plank, you can use your right foot as a kickstand. Keep that left leg extended out. Pressing the right hand into the mat and lifting the left hand up towards the ceiling. Pulling your belly in. Hold here for a couple of breaths. You can have your gaze forward or up towards the ceiling. And to intensify this pose, lifting that left leg up towards the ceiling. Not all the way up, just out to the side, really. If you want to lift it up towards the ceiling, you go for it, but if you're shaking like I am, that's totally normal. And we'll come back down and we'll go to the other side. So taking the full expression of side plank or your modified version like I'm doing. Extending that right hand up towards the ceiling. Pulling your belly in towards your spine, engaging those abdominal muscles. And if you'd like to intensify, lifting that right leg up, out to the side. And release everything down. Let's come into a child's pose. And let's make our way to a seat. We're going to go into a boat pose here. So bending the knees, feet are begin flat on the mat, and you can keep your hands behind you for support the entire time if that feels good for you. We're going to first lift our feet up off the mat. Remember to engage your core here. And now, if you would like to join me, you can bring your hands along sides of your legs, or you can hold behind your knees here. And from here, you can straighten your legs or keep it bent. And if you want to make it more intense, you can bring your arms up overhead. See what feels good today. My abs are not feeling super powerful today. I'm still recovering from being sick, so. And when you're ready to release, we'll take our hands behind us and come up into a reverse plank. So to begin, keep your knees slightly bent until you find where you need to be. And we're going to extend our legs out in front and lift the hips up, straightening the legs. We're going to try to keep those hands underneath the shoulders if you can tell where they are. And engage your core here. And release down. Whew, shake it out. Okay, so we'll just roll down onto our backs and pull our knees into our bellies. Take a few deep breaths here. If you'd like to come into a happy baby, grab onto the outside of your feet or your shins, or take your peace fingers around your big toe if you want to rock back and forth. And when you're ready to release your legs, make your way into a Shavasana. And before we complete our Shavasana, let's lift our arms overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. And then gently place your arms along your side, palms up. Feet are extended out on the mat. I'm just taking a moment here, allowing your breath to return to normal. Noticing how your body feels right now. Noticing your belly rise and fall with the inhales and the exhales. When you're ready, rolling over to one side and joining me back up in a seated position. Hopefully we got a little workout done here in the abdominal area. Maybe we'll feel it tomorrow, we'll see. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you soon. Thank you for visiting Sweet Bliss Yoga. Have a beautiful day.